Why data responsibility matters. Handling personal data with great care matters. Humanitarian organizations have an obligation to protect the people whose personal data they collect. Let's look at some fictional examples to show the importance of responsible data handling in humanitarian work. To facilitate the distribution of cash-based humanitarian assistance, a nonprofit organization collects personal data of over 300,000 displaced individuals living in a refugee camp. After an information session, most families simply sign the consent forms, which are written in an unfamiliar language in the hope to receive aid. Later, Kamari, formerly a professor in his home country and able to read the language, takes a closer look at the paper he signed. He discovers agreeing to share his data not only with the host country, but also with the country he fled from as a potential candidate for repatriation. Speaking to others, he realizes that most refugees were unaware of some of the purposes behind the documentation, as well as the potential risk. He and some of his friends are now afraid they might get forced to return and decide to go into hiding, unable to receive the much-needed assistance. Let's look at another scenario. In the first year of implementation, the TechX digitalization project resulted in a more efficient delivery of humanitarian aid. Unfortunately, after a violent political takeover, a hostile political group gained access to the project's biometric and digital databases. Amina, a local staff member who oversees the management of the database, now fears that the data may be used in the tracking and targeting of vulnerable groups and inadvertently become tools of surveillance and persecution. Moreover, her own digital profiles, which once seemed harmless, could now be exploited to trace her as she fears retaliations for her work from the new rulers. These examples show how important responsible use and handling of data is in humanitarian work. Failure to do so could result in risk and danger to the lives and well-being of vulnerable individuals and communities, disruption to operations and failures of programs and activities, damage to organizations' reputation and public image, and lawsuits and fines. Considering these negative consequences, it is crucial to make sure that data is handled responsibly while doing humanitarian work.